Hello everyone, this is the inaugural Spanish Grand Prix here at the Circuito Internacional de Ibiza. And the lights are out and we are underway, stealthy, with a huge jump over the rest of the field as the pit lane guys were released. This is a potentially championship winning day for the Haas Dutch driver, as ASM is currently in second, Wolven King is in third, Tim A is in fourth, YouTube in fifth, Aluminio sixth, Elwis seventh, Soren eighth, Diego ninth, and Pump in 10th. Jamal, Bacon, RJ7, and European are your last of your running cars. It's a 14-car appearance here and a 36-lap race. Stealthy completes the second lap to start the third, and ASM is not letting him catch a break as U2 makes his way up to third. Wolven King is up to fourth. He is currently the meat in a Ferrari sandwich at the moment. ASM just grabs hold of the fastest lap. Diego and Bacon 10th and 13th respectively for the both Mercedes drivers. And ASM is still within distance of making an attack on Stealthy. They are right close together as they head towards the tunnel now. Now out of the tunnel, now this final chicane, YouTube and Tim A are there. Wolven King is there as well. Bacon is out of this race, and European is stopped. He's headed around. Stealthy went a bit wide on the entry of the chicane. ASM could potentially take the lead here. Side by side towards the line. Stealthy manages to keep it. Meanwhile, the other Mercedes of Diego is out of this race as well. These guys are battling for the lead, and Stealthy could potentially win the championship here. He needs to get out of this race with at least 50 or more points, and he seals the title. This is round 12 of season 3 here in Ibiza, Spain. We then have South Korea and UAE. I'm sorry, I think this is either round 12 or 13. Could be round 13. But here we go, onboard with ASM. As they head towards the tunnel now, he is right there with Stealthy. Out of the tunnel, now towards the chicane. It looks like ASM is going ahead. But no, Stealthy is fighting back. He emerges out in front. Now towards the first corner again. He is still there. ASM not letting him catch a breather. He's not letting him catch a break. He is right there with Stealthy. This is very crucial here for both drivers. ASM, who has disappeared for quite a while, is trying to make a breakthrough at this last portion of the season. As it looks like he's ahead. He's hit the wall a little bit. It looks like he's ahead though. Coming towards the tunnel. They're going side by side. ASM merges ahead. Look at this. They are right there close to each other. Lap 9 of the Spanish Grand Prix. And both of them looks to have hit the wall. But ASM looks like getting the worst out of it. Here comes Stealthy. He will looks like he's going to take the lead of the race. But ASM is not giving this one up very easy. These guys still... Oh, and ASM's hit the wall. This is going to cost him. Stealthy is back in front, or is he? No. ASM still manages to hold on to that lead position. And Stealthy had a little bit of a slide. That's going to benefit ASM even more. Coming towards this left-hander, towards the tunnel now. As these guys are still very close to each other, towards the chicane. Stealthy goes a little wide, but he takes the lead. Stealthy back in the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix. He's hit the wall again. Can ASM do something about it? We gotta see here. And looks like Stealthy is still out ahead of ASM. Ending the first sector there. Neither of them improved because they're obviously fighting for the lead. And Stealthy's in the wall again. This could benefit ASM. Where's ASM? He's going to retake the lead. Well done by ASM, but costly for Stealthy as he loses the lead of this race. Meanwhile, Pump is battling, looks to be Aluminio. No, that is Woven King's battling with. Onward with Stealthy now. Can he catch ASM? ASM is pitting. ASM has peeled into the pits. Stealthy stays out. But ASM is not going to take any risk fighting this. He's going to pit for a new set of tires. And that was an Aston Martin out of the pits. And Pump is also in the pits. And we see the Ferrari of YouTube. And Stealthy is stayed out. ASM is down a second. As I say that, he's down to third. No, he's down to fourth. With each and every lap, Stealthy is getting closer to the title as we see a battle between the two AlphaTauris. And maybe the Lotuses. RJ7 is out. So that's... the Red Bulls are basically out. Meanwhile, the two AlphaTauris are still fighting along with Aluminio. And who is that in the wall? That's YouTube. YouTube's in the wall. That's not going to help his championship run. I mean, he technically lost the championship a round or two ago due to some poor performances. He was dominant the first two seasons of NIFL, but now this season, it's really, he's losing some of that speed. So this is going to benefit Stealthy even more in terms of championship talks here, because he is leading this race and we are on lap 16 as well. We are over 20 laps from the end. ASM is in second, but he does have fresher tires than Stealthy, because Stealthy is yet to pit. Pump is up to third. Soar in fourth. Woven King fifth. And that is the rain. The rain has come out. This is going to change the complexion of this race for sure. Down the tunnel goes Stealthy. Going through the chicane. There's a Red Bull like stranded there. And obviously he is pitting for what looks to be intermediate tires or wet tires. Everybody is going to pit here. ASM comes towards the final corner. He's pretty much going to pit as well. There he goes into the pits. How about that? Some rain poured into the mix of this race as Pump goes in as well. The rain is intensifying out there as we see ASM out there. Stealthy's headed towards the tunnel and he is on intermediate tires. He's going to have to pit as he comes to the final corner a little wide. But yes, he does come in. ASM will inherit the lead of this race. We are just over halfway through now. As lap 19 starts and Stealthy has put on his wet tires. But ASM is your new race leader. Meanwhile, Soar is in third for Alpine. Pump in fourth for Red Bull. And Time completing the top 5 for Ferrari. As we see Stealthy right there, which I assume that's a lap off Atari ahead of him. But ASM continues to lead this race for Alfa Romeo at the moment. Meanwhile, that's Elvis right there. He's getting a little slide. Oh, and Elvis, he was slow. He was a little slow. Looked like he was a little slow there. But ASM, your race leader. Stealthy could be catching him now because he's much faster on raw pace. The gap currently 8.5 seconds between the two. Now it's down to 7.7 seconds between the two guys. So Stealthy is catching, as Stealthy seems to be doing much better in the rain, considering he pitted for fresh tires. And ASM, the gap has gone up a bit to 8 seconds now in favor of ASM. But Stealthy could absolutely make something right here. We gotta see. As ASM heads towards his hairpin, towards the tunnel now, exiting the tunnel to this chicane now. The gap between the top two is getting smaller also every lap. ASM's doing, it's like he hits the wall. He's facing sideways, and that's not going to help him because Stealthy is right here. Stealthy is right behind him now, coming towards the tunnel. Stealthy's still a little bit far back, but he's got the race leader in his sights as we're about to start lap 25 of the Spanish Grand Prix. And Stealthy is right with ASM. As you can see, the gap between them is only 5/10 with that mistake from ASM. Wonder what happened there, because ASM was running fine, but he must have clipped the wall on the outside, and then he snapped the rear, and then he hit the wall twice. Thankfully, no damage to his car, but actually the damage done to him was that Stealthy is right there with him now. We gotta see, coming to this corner now. No, it's in the next section right here. This is where ASM crashed and lost it. I wouldn't say crashed, so you just say lost it. Towards the tunnel now. They can't go side by side. Stealthy isn't close enough. Toward this last chicane now. Towards the start finish. Oh, Stealthy's gone a little. He snapped the rear a little bit. But ASM manages to hold on for the moment. But no, Stealthy has come. And he is going to come back here. And he is going to lead this race. ASM went wide of that corner. And yes, it looks like Stealthy is now back in the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix here at Ibiza. It's treacherous conditions out here. But Stealthy is leading. And he is getting much closer to the championship. And ASM has no front wing. ASM has lost his front wing there. And this is going to hurt him even more. As there he goes. He can barely control the car. He's going to have to pit here. Towards that part where he lost it and hit the wall. There he goes towards the tunnel. Exiting the tunnel. He's going to have to pit for a new front wing. And you can imagine the disapproval from team. He hits the wall a little bit as he enters the pit lane. So ASM has pitted. He's in the box now. ASM has managed to hold on to second. Looks like Wolven King in the Aston Martin. He's frozen out there. And he's left. Oh dear. Wolven King was doing so well. Oh, and that's Elvis going a little slow. But he's going quick again. Wolven King was up into 5th place. and then he froze there. Probably some kind of personal lag issues. So now Wolven King is out of this race. We are on lap 31 of the Spanish Grand Prix here on this street circuit in Ibiza. We are still in treacherous conditions for rain, but everybody is still going there. At least the top 9 now, as Wolven King is out of this race due to personal lag issues or glitches. But anyway, 5 laps to go for the Spanish Grand Prix, as we see Timmy exiting the tunnel towards the chicane. He is currently running in 3rd. This could be a bit of a relief sign for Ferrari if they can salvage their season and make it strong these last few races. But so far he is running well in 3rd place. And Pump is behind him in 4th. He is not going to let him go. But Timmy, as we've seen in these last few races, he's a very calm driver. One of the calmest guys I've ever seen drive here on in NIFL. As Jamal was exiting the pits now, Aluminio gets a snap of the rear. But anyway, about Timmy and Pump behind him. Pump has gone closer. Yeah, Pump has gone closer. Here we go, towards the tunnel. And we gotta see who comes out ahead. Is it gonna be Timmy or is it gonna be Pump? Pump goes a little wide. Here we go, start finish rate. Oh, Timmy slowed down. What's happening to him? I'm not sure, but he's still going. But as a consequence, he loses 3rd place. As you see Stealthy right there, going towards the tunnel now, and he's gonna go on to make it 3 laps to go for the Spanish Grand Prix, and each lap he is getting closer to winning the title. The sun has come back out again, and track water is decreasing at a high rate of speed. As Stealthy peels into the pits, he is going to most likely go on for a set of dry tires. You gotta see. Looks like gonna be the soft compound. It's only gonna be a 2-lap rush to the end, a 2-lap stint, and he retains the lead. ASM, however, stays out, and he is on full wets. You can see he hit the wall already. Pump is in 3rd. Timmy is slowed again. Who's that into the pits? That is Pump. Pump has entered the pits. Elwes in 6th had also entered the pits. But Aluminio and Timmy have both stayed out. Well, Aluminio is not for position. He is a lap down to Timmy, basically. And this battle will not affect Timmy whatsoever. But we could see, yeah, same thing with, I believe it was Pump and Elvis or Jamal, as Timmy he doesn't really have to worry about this. Going into the Duce Coliseum now, Aluminio's around. Aluminio hit the inside wall and it spun him around. Meanwhile, we see this, Pump and Timmy battling it out again. ASM has pitted. We are on the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. There is Stealthy right there. He is driving very calm. He has the fastest lap, so he will get maximum points for this race unless if somebody can nick it off him, which doesn't look like anyone can, because He is 21 seconds ahead of ASM. Towards the tunnel he goes for the final time. Here we go. Out of the final turn for the final time. Stealthy is gonna do it. Stealthy has won the Spanish Grand Prix. And with that, he is your Season 3 NIFL Formula 1 Drivers Champion. And after 2 seasons of YouTube dominating, especially that second season, Stealthy is now a new champion in NIFL. Congratulations to Stealthy and Haas for securing that title. Haas just now need the constructors to seal off this whole season. ASM finishes in second for Alfa Romeo, and Pump is going to finish in third for Red Bull. As we see Timmy, he climbed out of this Ferrari, and now he's walking all the way. He probably ran out of fuel. Maybe that's why he was going so slow in those few moments there on the last few laps. As you can see him walking around. He finishes in fourth for Ferrari. Soar completes the top 5 for Alpine. Then it's Elvis, Aluminio, and Jamal. That is the end of the Spanish Grand Prix.